What is going on, you guys? This is Eric Cuts for the Win, and I've been playing this little game by the name of Eldest Souls. And I know what you're probably thinking. Eldest Souls? Is it kind of like Elden Ring meets Dark Souls? What is this? Not really that, okay? So it is a Souls-like. You got that right. In the way of its combat, in the way of how it looks. But it's a boss rush game, is what it is. It's basically you traveling through this world and traveling boss to boss with no enemies in between. Now you have these kind of shard-looking diamond things that you attune, kind of like a bonfire. It's how you save the game. It's how you travel as well. You can fast travel with them through the map. There's many areas in it too, different looking areas. You have a couple people that you talk to, you got some NPCs, you got some items that you collect and you give to NPCs or you give to certain areas in the world. And basically you're just traveling boss to boss. Now, remember when this little game called Sinner came out and it was marketed as a boss rush Souls game? I remember thinking, finally a boss rush game. How awesome, right? Because I sometimes just want to fight bosses, just straight up. But Sinner didn't really work out so hot. Wasn't really what I thought it would be. Now, Eldest Souls gets a lot of things right. This game is challenging, it's creative, great looking bosses, great phases within the bosses, cool themes with the bosses, and it looks great. It's got this pixelized style to it, it's got this top-down kind of view to it, and not to mention very responsive when it comes to the controls, something I felt Sinner lacked. The combat in this game also opens up because of the skill tree, where you can get skill points, you can spend them, you can also get shards where you can connect them to your skills and your fighting style. So for instance, you can put a shard on your charge attack, on your blood burst. Like for me, for example, I'm using the Berserk Slash, which is my fighting style. There's two other fighting styles as well. One of them I believe is called the Wind Slide. There's also a counter fighting style where your counter moves, and I believe dodging is kind of affected with that as well. Those are two of the other fighting styles that I need more experience with. I've just been going full on Berserk, okay? Berserk Slash, Berserk mode. I'm trying to get in there and be aggressive. All I can really give you guys is the Berserk Slash fighting style experience. And from what I'm unlocking so far, and that comes with beating bosses. So once I beat a boss, I'm able to have skill points unlock through the skill tree, and then I collect shards that I could use to further the damage that I do, the stamina recovery, and things like that. So you can see, and I'll show a picture of my skill set right now as I'm making this video, where I do have a few things unlocked, but not too much. There's more that I need to do, obviously. I'm not done with the game. This is basically a first impressions kind of overview of the game. And so far, yeah, it's kind of one skill at a time, one skill point at a time, and you can reset them anytime you want. So if you decide I need to switch it up because this boss is kicking my butt and I need a different style, you can do that anytime. You can completely change your fighting style if you like. You can switch the shards around if you like. You can switch the skill points around. So it's tailored to you and the bosses you're fighting. There was actually one boss where I felt like, this isn't working. I need to do something. So I switched a couple things around and then I was able to do a better job and get it done. So that's pretty cool. That's what I think makes it fresh all the time, because you can mix things up. Also, I think what makes it fresh in this game is that there's no healing items. The way you heal is by using your charge attack. So you can see on the screen as I'm playing, whenever I use the charge attack, it's building up a meter. And once I hit that meter, I then perform more attacks on top of that to get my health back. So it encourages you to be aggressive. Think of it kind of like Bloodborne in a way, but it's not all the time that you can just counter back. You gotta make sure that you have that charge meter full, and then you're able to go ahead and attack and get your health back. So I've been trying to notice every single time when I'm able to do that, if there's any kind of trick to it. But honestly, I've just been charging a lot and attacking, and I see that my health goes up. So I think that's the basics of it. Be aggressive when you have to, but then at the same time, it is kind of like a Souls game where you do need to dodge, you do have to worry about stamina. You can see the stamina bars right there. And what's cool about stamina is if you hit a perfect dodge, it will turn green and let you know that you did get your stamina back much quicker. So there's incentive to perfect dodging and incentive to being aggressive, which I do appreciate, and I think it makes the game better paced and more fun in that way of like you're really going in on moving around and attacking, and it keeps it fast, very fast paced. When you're not dodging or using your charge attack, you're basically running, which can feel like walking because your character does seem a little slow, but it's your way of, you know, getting your stamina back, moving around the bosses and things like that. There's some bosses where you can get away with it because they're not throwing much at you, but then there's other bosses that have projectiles or quick move sets where you do need to dodge and really kind of figure out that pattern and timing of when to dodge and when not to, because they can run out pretty quickly. You guys know when it comes to fighting bosses of this type of genre, this type of style and combat, like it could be a struggle to keep that stamina there, and that's kind of one of those things in this game where you do need to manage. And I'm sure you guys guessed that, but I just wanted to confirm, like, yes, it's very much about stamina. It's very much about hitting those perfect dodges and finding those opportune times, because there's bosses where they'll shoot beams of fire at you or beams of light or something. And if you look at it that way of like, oh, here's my opportunity. Let me get these, get the stamina back. Let me get closer to the boss and time it just right where I can dodge through, get up to the boss, and then I'm able to attack. So I've noticed that with each boss, there's been different strats that I've been developing. Some I'm super aggressive. Some of them I'm a little more patient and waiting for them to have openings, and I like that a lot. I feel like there's a lot of variety within the bosses. It's not the same boss all the time, not just by how it looks, but also how it plays, and that's super important, especially for a boss rush. I feel like every boss has been different, and every boss has had its own sets of challenges, and that's awesome. This game does boss rush right, especially for a Souls-like game. Eldest Souls definitely checks off a lot of boxes. Fallen Flag Studio is the developers of this game, and I feel like they've done a really good job. I'm almost through with the game. I'm about 6 bosses in, maybe 7. I'm putting good time in it. I've only been playing a couple days, and I've been going in and putting a lot of time into beating these bosses and kind of, breaking them down. I have a couple how-to videos that are going up for some of these bosses, the ones that gave me the most problems, and it's been super fun just going through it. And I really feel like there's a lot of quality in this boss rush game. I mentioned one before that didn't really quite do it for me, and there's more out there that I feel like are pretty good boss rush games. But when it comes to that Souls feeling and those aesthetics and those worlds and the world building, and when it comes to like the NPCs and you navigating through the world, having that, the name of that area pop up when you enter it, much like a Dark Souls game, and just having those kind of sound effects that just bring you back to that feeling, this game does that very well. If you're into Dark Souls, you're into that genre, and you've really been looking for a good boss rush game that's really influenced by Dark Souls, this is the one. This is a good one for you to play. I highly recommend it, especially if you want a good challenge and something just different to play, like having that, its own twist on this genre and what we're kind of used to, and just making it their own. Fallen Flag Studio has done that. So as far as recommendation goes, I do recommend this game. As I said, I'm not done with it, but I'm pretty deep in, and by the time this video goes up, I may be finished with the game. And in that instance, then I will probably follow up with a comment or something on this video to let you know, like, my feelings haven't really changed much, or maybe they did. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video, but I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible just to let you guys know my first impressions and how I'm kind of feeling about this game. Let me know what you guys think. If you're planning on playing Eldest Souls, if you're playing it right now, tell me how you feel about it. You dying a lot? What's up? You having some trouble? Some of these bosses are pretty much a cakewalk, but there's been a few. There's been a couple that have given me some issues. So when you watch my how-to videos, you'll probably know which ones gave me the most trouble. But that's pretty much it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you in my next one, all right? Have a good one. Peace.